Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Freethinker Cast. I am your host Hannah and today we are covering one of Hollywood's biggest entertainers. He's an actor, he's a producer, he's a rapper, he's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You guessed it, it is Will Smith. Now we all loved watching The Fresh Prince growing up. It is arguably the greatest sitcom to have ever been produced. If you haven't watched it, I think a lot of Gen Z missed out on this. You need to watch it. The episodes are timeless. But he's also featured in major blockbusters, Men in Black, I Am Legend, Bad Boys, though it wasn't very good, The Wild Wild West, according to the critics. He's huge. But in recent months, it appears that Will Smith is attempting to revive his relevance, particularly with Gen Z and the younger audience, because he's been releasing some music videos. He's been releasing some freestyles with Lyrical Lemonade, Charlie Sloth, Fire in the Booth. And we're going to take a look at it. Because it's kind of left the internet looking at each other like the side-eye Teddy meme. Or that little girl in the back seat in the car where she's like... So today we're asking, Will Smith, what are you doing? And also, why is it so hard for celebrities to let go of fame and relevance? Why do you need to pop up years later and make a song and go, I'm an action star? We don't need to do that. But before we jump into that, give this video a big thumbs up, comment all of your ideas down below, and subscribe if you haven't already to the Freethinker Cast. So Will Smith has popped up all over our social media feeds, YouTube, Instagram, and it's like, oh, we kind of wish it would go away because it doesn't look too good. It's not like Beyonce, how she's kind of gracefully aged throughout the decades and her music has adapted with the generation that she influences. Will Smith kind of vanished for a long time. He's not had the best reputation with the Chris Rock slap and with the public humiliation of his wife cheating on him with a guy 20 years her junior, talking about it in the Red Table Talk interview. He just kind of wasn't there for a while and he tried to come back again and reinsert himself into relevance. And he didn't really do it the same way Beyonce did or excelled at. To this day, she's winning Grammys, even though people don't really agree that she should have won for Cowboy Carter. She managed to evolve gracefully throughout the years in relevance and in her popularity. But Will Smith hasn't been able to do the same thing. Less than 11 days ago, about 12 days ago, he came out with a song called I Like Pretty Girls. None of the women in this video look anything like his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. And you can tell that these women are just not Will Smith's type. If it was actually what Will Smith wanted, it'd be a bunch of Margot Robbies. Let's be real. It'd be a bunch of Margot Robbies. It's people who look nothing like Jada. Nothing like Jada. Because he is so dissatisfied in his marriage. You can tell these women, I think they're beautiful, but you could tell that they are the DEI casts. And you can tell that Will Smith's Gen Z PR team told him, we need to do this in order to be inclusive and broaden your audience online and increase your appeal to a generation that obsesses over these things. It's not actually what Will Smith wants. It's what he was told to do. And bear in mind, Will Smith is a 56-year-old man. He's not like young bachelor Chris Breezy at the Breezy Bowl. He's not like got those slick dance moves. He's not like Chris Brown, okay? You're 56 years old. That's Unk. That's Unk. Everyone online is calling him Unk. And if you're a millennial or older watching this, Unk just means uncle. It's just short for uncle. You are uncle now. It's 56. That's even grandpa. Biblically, your great-great-grandpa. 56. You should be a great-great-grandpa at 56 if you talk about the Bible. People popping babies when they're teenagers in the Bible. So this is Unk. This is grandpa. Biblically, you're grandpa. Generationally, you are Unk. And it's like dogging over women like this and like thirsting, lusting over women like this surely has an expiration date, no? That it has to get old after a while. In the beginning of this music video, he's seated down with a therapist and he's talking through his obsession with girls. He's like, it started when I was a boy and Cringe, I know. Fun fact, Jesus is a better therapist than your therapist. The Bible calls him the wonderful counselor. He can actually give you self-control. If Will Smith is still lusting over women like how he was during the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 56, let me tell you something, your therapist, you need to fire your therapist. You need to fire your therapist and you need the wonderful counselor. You need the fruit of the Holy Spirit, which is self-control. God can give you that. He can train you in that. He actually can change you. He can actually transform and renew your heart and mind if you will allow him to. These wealthy celebrities are perpetually in therapy. They're just stuck there. Prince Harry is still grieving his mother. And somewhat incestuously seeing his mother in his wife, Meghan Markle. I say somewhat. Listen, if you read his book, there's a scene I don't even want to describe. These therapies are just... These celebrities are stuck in therapy. They're dissatisfied with their marriages. I mean, even Jada Pinkett Smith was cheating on him in the Red Table Talk interview. This all emerged and went viral. She called it an entanglement. She was cheating on Will Smith with some 24-year-old boy. There's no amount of therapy that can help you recover from that. You need the Lord. You need the Lord. Thank the Lord that I loved Will Smith purely for his talent and his acting and his song Get Jiggy With It. La 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 la. Because you strip back all of the Hollywood scripts and the multi-million-dollar special effects, the award-winning cinematography, and you are left with just a man. It's unfortunate, but it's also the reason they say never meet your heroes, because you will feel disillusioned by who they truly are. The comment section 8. These are some of my favourite comments. This is Chris Rock's revenge, and he didn't even have to do anything for the Oscar slap. And if you close your eyes and listen to another song, it's actually good. Jokers in the comment section. And he also performed this song, I Like Pretty Girls, in London, obstructing the pavement in the already deeply congested city. Like, I'm not even going to get worked up about the fact that they are breaching the pedestrian code of conduct. This is not America, Will. This is not America, like the land of the free in America. This is Britain. You go to jail for posting memes and your opinions on the internet. Move out the way. But yeah, everybody was like recording it all with a flash on their camera. They were not singing any of the lyrics because nobody really knew this song.
I like pretty girl. Yeah. I like pretty girl. Yeah.
Not even me. And no one knew the lyrics, even though he was repeating the chorus quite a bit, which is quite repetitive and you can easily catch on to something like that. I would know because choir girl, if you repeat the chorus enough times, I can like catch on. Nobody did this. He sings, I like pretty girls, I like pretty girls, I like pretty girls. You would think like people would say, oh, okay, yeah, I love pretty girls. And they would just like sing along. They didn't. They didn't. But if that was a gospel song, people have been bursting out into gospel music in the middle of London recently. And I've been loving watching all of these videos. Everyone knows the lyrics because God is more famous than you, Will. How do you feel about that? His will is more important than you, Will. Get jiggy with it. Anyways, yeah, they were all just staring at him like he was this spectacle, ancient centerpiece relic at a museum, blurting out modern music babble. You're from a different age, Will. Your checkered armchair is calling you home. But the nightmare doesn't end there. 2 months ago, he did a lunch break freestyle with Lyrical Lemonade, and he told everyone he's an action star. I personally do not believe this was a freestyle. I don't know why we're calling it a freestyle. I think these rappers are lying when they call it a freestyle. It's clearly rehearsed like everything else in Will Smith's acting career. It's scripted. I don't think he came up with this for a fraction of a second. No way. But let's take a listen.
This is the bounce back. Watch Will, y'all. This is the bounce back. Here come the bounce back.
What is that grunting noise? Please stop, Unc. That is the most Unc thing to do, is a grunt. Like when you sit down on your checkered armchair after a long day and they make that noise. They just... I can't even do it. It's just like, oh, why are you making that noise? Why can't you just sit down without making noise? Like it's a exasperated like... because they exerted themselves just like walking up and down the road. I'm not saying I've never done that. I'm just saying it's like characteristically Unc thing to do. You know? This is the bounce back. Stop with the bounce back. We don't need to bounce back. You don't need to bounce back. And this is my opinion. I think, why is it so hard for you to let go? Just let go. You don't need to have a bounce back or a clap back or, a resuscitation of your relevance. Like, you can just You can just go into the museum and we will honor the Fresh Prince. I still rewatch the episodes whenever I get the chance to. You can have that legacy without doing all of this bounce back rubbish and trying to appeal to the next generation. It's okay to let go. But I feel like with Will Smith, the reason why he's not letting go is because he feels like he has some public redemption to do. Following the TED Table Talk interview and the public humiliation that his wife brought upon him with the entanglement with August Alsina, and then also the infamous Chris Rock slap, Will Smith feels like he needs to redeem himself. He needs to repair his reputation and rewrite the ending, shall I say, because he tarnished it significantly. And it's just, this is not the way to do it. Let go. And I think when celebrities have become so immersed in the limelight, it's very difficult to find that dopamine anywhere else. It's very difficult to detach from that because all of that praise and that validation and you're the Fresh Prince, like you're royalty almost to people. It's so difficult to let go because that validated you for so many years of your life. And when you are in Hollywood and you're navigating all of these characters and different scripts and different movies, you are embodying somebody else, an entire different human being. You're playing a character in a movie, and that is being praised. Never who you are, it's who you pretend to be. And I think these Hollywood actors, they will struggle to detach themselves from that because they're only praised and seen and recognized when they're pretending to be somebody else. And they're never just appreciated for who they truly are. This is why he needed a loving wife. Not like Jada Pinkett Smith, someone who loved Will Smith for who he is outside of his accolades, outside of his Oscar nominations and outside of his awards and his accomplishments and his movies and everything. He needed someone who would love him outside of his achievements, and he didn't find that in Jada Pinkett Smith. And I think this is why we're seeing him so desperately cleaving onto relevance, because he has not yet discovered who he is outside of his fame and his wealth and his status. He needs the limelight. He needs it to feel loved and appreciated. Also here, like, what is this? What is this setup? Why is he, look, normally when I see these rappers who are doing freestyles, they're standing up. They have all this vitality in them, and they're standing up, and they're like, yeah. Will Smith is sitting down. He's got some snacks on the table, some refreshments. Like, what is this? He's got his 90s energy and 90s aura, but he's contrasting that quite awkwardly against a 21st century modern rap track or beat. These trills on this beat, the synth, is very characteristic of like modern rap that is tacky. And we live in the generation of Lil rappers, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi, Lil whatever. These are not actually good rappers. They're just auto-tuned synth trills, and it's popular. Nicki Minaj said it first. When you were growing up, you heard quality rappers. You heard good artists. Now you hear popular artists.
Labels do not care about talent anymore. It's about your popularity. So the music industry has changed drastically because of that. So when I was growing up, I would put on the radio and hear talented people. When you guys put on the radio now, you hear popular people. And that's the difference.
Record labels don't want quality artists, they want popular artists. So this track is whack. It doesn't compare anything to the unrivaled Get Jiggy With It. Will Smith was a positive role model for black men. He didn't do the guns and the rap and the violence and the thuggy rapper energy. He was good hip-hop. He was actually good hip-hop. He was like hip-hop at the time, but it was actually good, and it wasn't about what it is now, which is just money, women, drugs, guns, knives. Oh, like that's all I hear, that's all I hear anyways. That's what I deduce from all of the rap that's going on now. Will Smith was good. La 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 la. Who didn't like Get Jiggy With It? Get jiggy with it. No. It's stuck in my head. It's stuck in my head. Will Smith's music, he didn't do much of it, but his music that like Get Jiggy With It, it was a timeless and refreshing blast from the past. Fresh Prince is a time where sitcoms were actually good. Not like the rubbish sitcoms they make this day. Like, I don't know what happened when, to be honest, I don't like Friends, but a lot of people liked Friends. You know, Friends, Fresh Prince, Big Bang Theory. Like, I can only name a handful of sitcoms that I can say are actually really good. But recently, the screenwriting is trashy. Everything's really political in movies and television these days. Like, it's not about just good storylines and interesting characters. They will never have the same novelty as early 2000s and 90s sitcoms. It's just not going to happen. Important to note, Will Smith is way too well pronounced to be a classless rapper. I understood everything that he was saying in his Lyrical Lemonade freestyle. Typically, when I'm covering rap culture, I have to go straight to Lyrics Genius because I don't understand a word of their incoherent babble on their tracks. I don't understand it. So I always have to go to Lyrics Genius. With Will Smith, I understood everything he was saying perfectly. He's well pronounced, he's well spoken. He's way too talented to be awkwardly adapting to or fitting in to this classless generation of music. It feels like a violation, almost like, stop. And we mustn't overlook the casual confession that Will Smith is summoning demonic powers to do his bidding in the entertainment industry. His words, not mine.
I go to sleep and my ancestors visit me. They surrounded me, gave me the vision vividly. Gave me a lion to protect me in this industry. Now I just walk and he chew through my enemies.
He just confessed he has a guardian spirit lion given to him by ancestral spirits, or what we more commonly know in the Bible to be familiar spirits. And he calls on them to attack his enemies in the entertainment industry. Thank you, Will Smith, for casually confessing that you summoned demonic powers to do your bidding. And in case anyone wants to launch the defense that this is somehow a metaphor, don't, before I lose my marbles. Because, no, seriously, if you really think, what would the metaphor be? What would the metaphor be? Reading this or listening to that, what is the metaphor for? What is the metaphor for? What is the metaphor for? If it was metaphorical, what is it? What is the symbolism? What is it representing? What is it conveying? Think, free thinkers. What would the metaphor be? He's a wizard. Will Smith is a wizard. Good news is we don't fear this magic or divination. He might have a lion or an entity that takes on the form of a lion to protect him in the industry, but we serve the Lion of Judah. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Lion and the Lamb. He created lions. And one pastor put it brilliantly when he said, the devil is an imitator. The Bible says he roams around like a lion seeking whom he may devour. And although I'd read that verse a billion times over, I didn't notice what that simile really meant. And it is that Satan is an imitator. He can only act or resemble God. He cannot actually be God. He cannot actually devour you if you have Jesus Christ. Daniel in the lion's den. What is a lion to the Lion of Judah? Come on now. I need to get a church organ for these episodes. I don't know how I do that. Can I fit a church organ in this room? My favorite comment underneath this video is, he raps like an undercover cop. Will Smith has also appeared. He's doing like a UK tour. He's in London now. He's on Charlie in the Booth. I know, Fire in the Booth with Charlie Sloth. And he doesn't seem so regretful of his Chris Rock slap anymore. Like, he spit some bars. They were not nearly as bad as like the other ones that we just covered. It wasn't too bad, but there was one line that stood out to me. And it was like, he doesn't regret the Chris Rock slap. I was like, wait, you don't regret it anymore? After the public apology tour and the groveling you had to do, you don't regret it anymore. Let's take a listen.
I'm not the type of man to move in malicious ways, and I am too grown to play childish games. But if you're talking crazy out your face up on the stage and disrespect me on the stage, expect me on the stage.
Okay, so he's clearly referencing his 2022 Oscar slap. This is a big U-turn. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. I mean, Chris Rock was humiliated. And every single day, Will Smith should be thanking the Lord and kissing Chris Rock's feet that Chris Rock didn't sue or didn't press charges for assault like this. Like, Will Smith is just like, oh, he has to do like, now because he's doing this Gen Z rap, he wants to be like thuggy. And in order to be the thuggy Gen Z rapper, he needs to be violent and a bit aggressive, not knowing that we actually loved you because you weren't any of those things, Will. You were a household name because you were not any of those things, Will. And he wants to do this violent, aggressive thing. So now he's using an event where he publicly groveled and apologized for. He's using an event where he publicly humiliated a fellow comedian, Chris Rock, to bolster his street cred in the rap game. And that's the worst way to do it, by the way, because you did apologize. You groveled for many, many months and years and all this public redemption arc that we witnessed. It was just a bit awkward because you were trying to do this BET Christian gospel thing that nobody was buying because you're not a Christian. But you try and do all this, like trying to redeem yourself in the eyes of the public. And now you're like, actually, no, I'm a thug. I meant that. I did that. And what? You would disrespect me and I'm going to slap you up. I'm going to show you what's up. And this is the issue with Chris Rock not pressing charges. Hollywood has a zero consequence culture for A-listers because they are a bunch of opportunistic elitists. And Chris Rock probably just wanted to do away with the whole incident. He just wanted it to go, and I didn't want to be associated with this, or he didn't want to escalate it any further by pressing charges. But the zero consequence culture for Hollywood A-listers enables their elitism and their prideful pretentiousness, if that is a word. In my opinion, Will Smith is desecrating his legacy. He's attempting to rebrand, revive his relevance, and even repair his reputation following the Oscar slap and the Red Table Talk interview. But his audience has changed significantly since his prime. He's pushing 60 now, and his appeal to a younger demographic of people is slowly withering away. Sadly, we just no longer resonate with his generation, his music, or his artistry. And what we could have appreciated in the Hall of Fame, in a museum with timeless masterpieces of the entertainment industry like Fresh Prince and Men in Black, we're now going to kind of look with a tarnish on it because you attempted to cleave onto it and never let go. It's time to put it to bed, Will. Go to your checkered rocking armchair. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree, whatever you think, in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the Freethinker Cast. Bye.